advice about building good habits and consistency. And
they're kind of light, kind of cool. All right.
Step by step, exactly what I'm gonna do to implement this habit into my life and actually stick to it. All right, today is a big day because I am about to go pick up a brand new car. I've been driving this 2008, I believe, Toyota Camry for quite a while now, and it served me well, but I think it is time for an upgrade, and I'm super excited about this one, so we're about to go pick it up. All right, just got back a little later than expected, but here I am in the new Tesla Model 3. Feels pretty awesome. Coming from the old Toyota, now being in a Tesla, I feel like I've worked hard and deserve it, and now it's something that symbolizes the progress that I've made in life. Obviously, material possessions aren't everything, but definitely super grateful for, being able to afford something like this, and my job and money I'm making from YouTube now and everything together. Bitcoin going up. Definitely if Bitcoin wasn't doing as well as it is, I wouldn't have felt as inclined to get this, but yeah. Good morning. It is Saturday. I slept in a little bit, but I feel great. Still did my meditation, made breakfast, ready to have a good, productive Saturday. I think today I'll try going to a new cafe in the area. Ever since I got into making matcha and coffee, I have a new appreciation for these cafes and trying the different ones, kind of judging them based on their coffee and also the aesthetic and the vibe. Do they have outlets, Wi-Fi, that type of thing. And also I think I have this sort of long-term dream that maybe me and my sister or something will open up some nice, perfect cafe sometime in the future, some family business or something. All right, so I've had a couple people comment asking for advice about building good habits and consistency, and since it's towards the end of the year and we're getting into the new year time, which is stereotypically the time when people start new routines and good habits, I figured I'd talk a little bit about my experience and advice, I guess, for building habits in this video. Now, although building a good morning routine and healthy habits, especially around the new year, has become a bit of a cliche, I think the power of habits is still definitely 100% valid, and it's very similar to compound interest. Now, money is kind of the obvious context in which compound interest can apply. Saving and investing consistently over a period of time is how I was able to afford this car, but it applies to other areas too: fitness, YouTube, your career, business, relationships, learning. And unfortunately, this compounding effect of consistent habits doesn't just work for the good habits. It works just as much, if not more, for the bad habits, which can quickly compound and spiral out of control and destroy parts of your life. All right, so I just finished up a solid deep work session at a coffee shop, and while I was there, something kind of crazy happened. Someone came up to me and said that they recognized me from my YouTube videos. It's the first time that has ever happened, so it was pretty mind-blowing, to be honest. I actually asked them if I could take a picture with them to just capture the moment, because it's the first time that anyone has seen me in public. And they were also carrying an Atomic Habits book by James Clear, which is also a crazy coincidence because we're talking about habits and building consistency in this video. One of the key points that James Clear makes in that book is just how important of a role your environment plays in building good habits and consistency. And I definitely found that to be the case. Yes, we can rely on just sheer willpower and discipline to grind out certain habits, but if we can set up our environment in a way that facilitates the completion of our habits, everything just gets a lot easier, and you don't have to rely on just kind of grinding through and forcing yourself to do things. So for example, now every time that I go to a coffee shop or cafe, I pretty much always do some real deep focused work. And it's gotten to the point where now my brain associates that environment with the habit of deep work. So we can use this concept to our advantage and kind of control our environment better than we can control our discipline or willpower, so we can easily take things away or add things to our environment that facilitate our willingness to complete a certain habit. Part of the reason why the cafe works for me personally is because going to that environment involves removing all other distractions that are normally found in my home environment. If you want to start the habit of reading before bed, don't keep your phone on your bedside table or in your room at all. Put a book there or a Kindle. You get the idea. As I'm saying this, it sounds kind of simple and obvious to the point where most people probably won't even do it, but it's really those small, simple things that make the biggest impact.
All right, it is time for another unboxing.
All right, before we get into the unboxing, I just want to quickly explain the relevance of this section to the video, because on its surface, it might just seem like I'm showing off the random things that I spent my money on. I know that personally, I'm someone who gets really into tech gadgets, gear. It's just kind of a fun side hobby for me. So I know that by getting these two things, it will help make the habits of, in this case, getting a good night's sleep and tuning out distractions and getting more deep focused work done more enjoyable for me to complete, because I've added this second element that I personally enjoy. Now, this definitely doesn't mean that you need to go out and buy random things to actually implement a new habit. The point here is to look for ways that you can make the act of completing that habit as enjoyable and fun for you as possible, because activities that we genuinely have fun doing are going to be way easier to stay consistent with in the long term. So for me, it might be using a fun piece of tech like I am here. For you, it might be something completely different that you enjoy. Just figure out whatever works best for you.
At this rate, I might have one of these in every single video. This is, again, another non-sponsored thing. These are literally just products that I bought with my own money because I have a problem and I'm buying too much stuff. All right, here it is. Hopefully you can see. It is the Roka X Daddy Andrew Huberman product that they just released. These are basically not blue light blocking glasses. They say it's better than that. It's just wind down lenses. They're basically fancy blue light blocking glasses that block more than just blue light to help with your sleep late at night. My understanding is your eyes are super sensitive to being affected by light in terms of screwing up your circadian rhythm and stuff. Basically, when you see a bright light from your phone or TV, computer, it can kind of trigger your brain into thinking that that's light from the morning and it's time to wake up, and that can screw up your sleep. So one of the things they suggest is to turn off lights as much as possible. Don't let yourself be exposed to blue light late at night. But if you can't do that, which is pretty much inevitable, you can wear things like these. And ooh, they're kind of light and they look kind of cool. All right, how do I look? Can't really tell because literally everything looks orange now. If you've ever used that Flux program on your laptop where it makes the screen all red, it's like that, but just for the whole world. It's kind of what it feels like. Okay, next product. All right, this might seem like a little excessive. I'm buying all this stuff. Usually, overall, I would say I'm pretty good with my money and saving it and not wasting it on things that are like really useless, like designer clothes and junk food. And I try to buy things that I think will genuinely improve my health or quality of life. Now, the one issue is I very easily convince myself that things are going to improve the quality of my life. So I'll admit, like, sometimes the definition of what's actually, worth buying for me gets moved around pretty easily. But this is another cool thing that was another sort of impulse buy that I saw ironically on, I think, an Instagram ad or someone else I follow posted about it. But it's this thing called Brick. You may have seen it before. Again, not sponsored, but I feel like it would be very useful product for all of you guys too if you struggle with getting distracted by your phone and stuff. But basically, my understanding is it's this little block that you stick somewhere, and then when you tap your phone to it, it will lock you out of all these different apps and websites that are distracting. So Instagram, social media, any sort of URLs you can put in there, and you have to tap your phone back onto this to reactivate those apps. The problem that I always ran into was I need to download Instagram or something to post on social media because I want to grow my Instagram following, and that's kind of a productive use of Instagram. But every time I download it, I inevitably find myself getting stuck scrolling, and then I just, like, after a while get fed up and delete the app and then re-download it, and it's just this endless sort of cycle. With this, you can in theory keep all those apps that are normally distracting, but just brick your phone when you're going to go focus, and then you're locked out of those. You can set it to basically only allow you to access certain tools. So maybe you want to be able to access Spotify because you listen to some lo-fi beats when you study or do your work, or maybe you need to be able to answer your your phone or text messages or these other sort of essential apps, but they're not apps that are gonna like distract you from doing your deep work. I know they make apps themselves that do this, but I feel like those are, from what I can tell, easy to work around, and you can either go to the URL or something on your browser instead of using the app, or they're just not as secure as this. This, my understanding is like you literally have to get up and go tap your phone onto this thing physically. It seems like it could potentially work a lot better, but still allow you to stay connected with people through social media when you want to allow yourself to do so. So I'm gonna try setting this up and test it out over the next couple days, and we'll see how things go. It sounds like a promotion, but I promise it's not. I just like products that are cool and improve my life. I genuinely enjoy kind of nerding out over that type of stuff.